Gene, owner and founder of Hype Jeans, a resident of Brooklyn, but now I live in New Jersey.
Hi, I'm Leanne. I live in Harlem, and I'm a doctor, specifically a psychiatrist.
Alright, I'm Levon. I live in Brooklyn, originally from Jamaica. I'm a writer and also I do sales development.
Emily, and I'm Haitian and I'm from Brooklyn. You could check me out, Emily Elise, on Instagram and YouTube.
My name is Ken, also known as Really Though. I am an artist slash pharmacist. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, and I'm here for current situations, here to support my cousin. I'm excited.
And I'm Lonnie, born and raised in Brooklyn, freelance graphic designer, occasional photographer, and every Friday I throw a pretty cool party called the Weekend Warm-Up that everybody should come to from time to time.
Oh.
Alright, that's where we're going next Friday.
Women, especially as it pertains to celebrities, are always like up in arms when dudes like get money and they end up, you know, dating white chicks. There was like something recently, and it's funny, we were talking about catfish earlier. There was this dude that was like a fake Miami Dolphins player that made some comments about black women being, you know, too dominant and not willing to be subservient and let a man be a man, and that's why black men go to white women. It turns out he wasn't really a Miami Dolphins player after all. He was just scamming mad white chicks. But those comments caused an uproar all over social media, so that shit dominated my timeline for like 2 days. And women were up in arms. They were like, oh, you know, this is bullshit. Why can't, you know, guys get money and stay with us? And, you know, they turn our backs on us, and white men value us more than black men do. And so I know if I was to ever date a white woman, it would be a mess. Like, I'd probably get, like, you know, all kinds of obscene texts and angry calls and everything.
I don't get why that would happen, though.
Because I think they feel betrayed.
But why?
I got to stare, I got to look at, and all that other stuff, but the most that I ever experienced was, it was a girl that I dated. She's from, she's Russian and Sweden or something like that, and we was on a train, and it was a white lady that sat down, and I was on the door in the train, and then like she, you know, she came up to me and kissed me, and then I looked towards my right, and like the lady just kind of just rolled her eyes, and I'm like, and all this, I'm like, okay, like this is something natural. It's not like, you know, I'm forcing myself on her and all that other stuff. Like, so I feel like it's how you are brought up. Maybe in her time is unacceptable, but she's got to understand it's our time where we kind of embrace what, you know, it's no more, I'm not gonna say no more, but it's a new generation where we embracing like different nationalities, ethnic race, and all that other stuff.
So say, let's say I make it tomorrow, right? And I date a white girl. They're gonna say I'm a sellout. But if a black woman dates a white guy,
yeah, it's
like, great, Serena Williams got engaged to that white dude. It was mad love for her.
Wow.
Get rid of Tyrone, get you a Billy. I seen that all over the world. It's like, but if Kanye got Kim K, even though she's a, you know,
Do you think it has something to do with the male to female ratio?
no,
Like,
I just think it got to do with
you
this.
think it has
It's a double
something to do with it?
standard. That's the one double standard you guys have.
Okay.
It's
All
one
right.
of societal double standard. I think that, you know, men, if we look at somebody like Serena Williams, is like, you know, we might be like, damn, we lost one. And we, you know, we just keep it moving. We just ride it off.
We as black men is like, we're, no matter what culture you are, Caribbean, American, whatever the case may be, you're kind of trained and reared to be like, it's supposed to be macho, it's supposed to be like a man, basically. And yeah, generationally, they kind of get a little bit more chill, a little bit more loose, where it's kind of like equal. So I can definitely see, like, me, if I think about Serena, I'll be honest with you, Serena's bad, but I don't manage, I need some help, so give me I need something. Yeah.
But you're up for the challenge.
I'm up for the challenge.
I'm for the challenge. That's what I'm
for the challenge.
Some people.
But real talk, I'm just like, yo, I need some sort of aids, you know?
But here's my question: which, I don't know if you know the people in your timeline. Who's mad? Is it the single black female, or is it who's mad? Like, do you consider there is a thing called bitter?
Yeah, the bitter black woman. Quote
Yeah,
unquote.
like the single one specifically. Like,
I
who's
mean,
mad?
because I think they internalize it. It's like, you know what? Even if I wasn't good enough for you, we we're not good enough for you.
Okay.
And I think that tends to sting a lot more.
Yeah, that's so true.
And I think a lot of the dudes that purposely like seek out white women only and exclude black women, it's a combination of there was a girl that they really liked at one point in time that broke their heart. They have mommy issues that are unresolved.
Right.
Or it's a combination of both of those. It's like one or the other or both.
What about the people who make it? You know what I mean? Like, you were fine. You were with your black girlfriend for 10 years. But now you've been signed to the NFL, or now you have this big major movie deal, and now you guys broke up. And who did you pick up? Becky with the good hair.
And we'll never get that answer because that group of the Hollywood are so up there, and if it would be a PR nightmare if they did an interview and told us the real reason. Why are you dating only white girls now?
What do you guys think the reason is?
You know what? I think the reason is because when you get to Hollywood, you know, the majority of people in Hollywood with money, if you're not an athlete or a rapper some shit, probably white women.
Okay.
There's not a lot of us high up in that industry that make a lot of money, so these dudes, they probably go into a phase where they're just trying to protect their bread. So it's like, hey, I'm not gonna marry somebody with like from the hood. I'm gonna marry somebody that has as much to lose as I do, and somebody in this circle. So that's why, you know, as much as people talk about LeBron, I give him the utmost respect because he's still dancing with who he came with. You know what I mean? All these years later, he had his high school girlfriend. He married her, had children with her, and that's who he got rich with. So if you say anything about the dude, you can't front him about that because he's you know, anti what everybody thinks that a rich black man does.
Supposed to do, right?
Right. But I mean, I think, you know, O.J. Simpson is what everybody thinks of as, like, you know, I mean, that ended rather poorly, obviously, but I'm just saying, you know, O.J. Simpson is what can kind of make some black women get incensed because it's like, look, he's rich, he's famous, and he picked, I don't know what Nicole Brown used to do, right? But the point is, you know, it's like, well, if you know, those are the situations, I think, when, you know, black people or people get incensed because it's like, well, what was it that, you know, you could have at least found someone, again, if, you know, they end up with someone like, for example, Kanye and Kim, they're kind of, you know, in a similar circle, similarly successful, or they're both successful in some kind of way. But I think what, you know, when I hear people getting upset, it's when, you know, it's like, okay, it's gonna sound terrible, but basically a black guy, quote unquote, makes it, and he picks up an average
white chick
or below average white chick.
Yeah, that's what everybody is. I'm not mad.
Person of another race, but, you know, particularly white chick, especially if they're blonde. And so, you know, we all are like, oh my God, really? You know, we understand if, you know, you're saying you're super rich, for example, on Wall Street, all your colleagues are this, you found a colleague or someone, a friend of a colleague or something, but I think what gets people, or, you know, black women at least, upset is when you're like, you just wanted anything.
A waitress from some random diner
Tiger Woods
in Wisconsin.
Au pair.
And what was that, his nurse?
Au pair. She was an au pair, like a babysitter from wherever she's from, right? And so
she's not in your circle. So where did you find her?
And then even all the other women he dated, none of them, was anyone a stripper? I don't know, but none of them were vaguely like, yeah, Tiger Woods. So that's what, so that is what I think gets people upset. And for me, in general, I think, you know, interracial dating is not for everybody. It's for some people. Do what you do, love who you love. But at the end of the day, always in my mind, if someone seems to kind of gravitate towards someone who's of an always to another race, which is not what you're kind of culturally brought up to do, what is the reason? There's actually a book called Why Black Men Love White Women. It literally, so if you want to go Google it, right, by this Guyanese guy.
Oh Lord.
Well, who's actually kind of black and Indian, but so, but I thought it was, and so, you know, and this is not, so you have, black men got fetishized with the whole Mandingo nonsense, right? And they kind of were the symbol of strength and virility and all of that, being strung out in the fields, whatever, the cane piece or the sugar, the cotton fields. And so they kind of got that, you know, Kunta Kinte, whatever nonsense, Mandingo image. Whereas black women, we were, I think in history, more looked upon as Aunt Jemima, right? Not all the time. Or the one or animalized. Yes, exactly. Or overly sexualized, kind of, you know, animalistic. So when you put an animalistic, over-sexualized look on a black woman, it doesn't seem right. If you put it on a man, it seems virile and strong, and, you know, you're in France and they want to see what's seen under the hood. Right? But with women, it kind of either makes us look kind of slutty and cheap, or it makes us look kind of, again, kind of Aunt Jemima-ish. So I think somehow, in my mind, is the negative image of black women has overshadowed that of black men in terms of sexuality. I mean, I'm not talking about economics, etc., but just in terms of looks and sexuality. And also black women, I mean, we have all this data, and I always wonder if it's even true, like the online dating website data, saying that black women get the least hits. It was an OkCupid study, I think. Black women get the least hits from all races, but black men are actually more relatively popular compared to black women. I think it's Asian men. Remember, Steve Harvey got in trouble. Asian men get the least attention, and black women get the least attention, at least on OkCupid's, you know, not
study,
perfectly, not particularly scientific study. And then, you know, also they say that black women tend to look too masculine or something like that. So there are all kinds of interesting things.
I think black men are taking black women for granted. Like, we kind of feel that they owe us their love by default because we're the same color and we don't work hard for it. And I mean, there's other underlying issues, especially in the North, where we don't have like a really strong family structure versus the South, or versus, you know, I don't think we are raised to desire marriage, where for women it's kind of like implanted in them, you know, from childhood. If you look at every like Disney movie, there's always like a happy ending where a man and woman link up, and you know, you got Cinderella in all these movies. Guys don't watch that stuff. So for us, where, you know, it's all images of us being the hunter, and that's what's in it. You watch TV and all these reality shows, it's just guys with multiple women. So we're trained to believe that this is the way that this should go, and it's not. That's not really it. It's not popping to be single until you're like 50. And still be chasing chicks in the club with a muscle shirt on. It's not dope.
Black women being raised that way, wanted that in terms of what they want out of life, right?
Yeah.
Then you have, on the other hand, black guy makes it and goes to the white woman. So I feel like on the one hand it's like a shortage where they say, okay, you always say that black men are hard to find, right? Good black men. We have people in prison, you have people this, that, whatever the case may be. So you want the ideal black man. So for them, they're internalizing all of that, and then they see one that make it as their ideal.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit, you go with a white girl.
Yeah.
The fuck, you know? But it's basically like, you know, they've been looking for that all their life, and it's like they project onto that guy.
So it's like, even if I don't get you, at least one of my sisters could get you, but you just left us alone entirely and went somewhere else. So yeah, now we're collectively as a group.
I think it also has to do with men's desire to conquest and like have like prize. Like 50 Cent, he was talking about like when he makes money, when he started getting put on, he wants to buy the best of everything, which would mean, you know, buying designs that are not from the black community, buying like designer stuff from different brands. And so a white woman kind of is that trophy thing for, I think, for black men. It's like, oh, I got put on, I'm wearing Gucci, I'm wearing this, I'm wearing that. Let's throw in the white girl, like, I've arrived. You know what I'm saying? Like that, I think that finally seals deals. And the only reason why I kind of feel like that, like being in an interracial relationship, people came to me as if I was like, I'm supposed to be so grateful, like he picked me, the white man, like it's like, and me and him didn't feel like that. I just want to keep stressing it enough that he was a good guy, but people treated it like I was supposed to feel like
honored
that I got this white man. I mean, on top of that, he was attractive. I'm not gonna sit there and say he wasn't attractive. Maybe that has something to do with it, but I felt like a lot of my friends who just like speak really blunt, like, girl, you lucky how you got yourself a white man. Don't know what he do for you. And life is not what people, I mean, if I could do anything on the show, like let people know, like life is not a Cinderella story just because Prince Charming did this in that storybook. Real life with a real man, whether his skin color or not, involves real life shit. You know what I'm saying?
So do you think, all right, if a black man gets quote unquote put on, right? Do you think he owes a responsibility to choose a black girl? Or should he just, you know, choose who he wants, like who he vibes with, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I feel like our culture places this undue responsibility on him, but they're projecting it again.
On one person.
Yeah, on one person, like he got to be like
millions.
You know what I'm saying? Like, does he have a responsibility to do that, or should he just, you know, or is it like is it a good look? Like, what should he do? You know what I mean? Because sometimes
I don't want to be the black man. Like that's a hard position to be on. Like I didn't get negative. I didn't get flack. So like it would be hard for me to be a black man. I probably would like if I was a black man, I would overlook love. Like if the person was another skin color, just because I just don't want the drama. Like I don't like the funny stares. It bothered me all the time. I didn't like the stares. I just wanted to be in a regular relationship and be in warm, loving environment where people accepted who I'm in love with, and that's a hard place to be in. Like
Lonnie said though, like everybody respects LeBron because he's with Savannah. Savannah is gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
She is a regular, pretty black woman. She is not like this exotic mixy chick, like, you know what I mean, like how you would try to like pinpoint she has this, she has this, she has this. No, she's just a regular, pretty ass black woman. And everybody fucks with him because he's been with her since he was 14. Of course he probably was fucking around because niggas ain't shit, but the point is that this is who he chose to be with. So when we have those people that are our sons' idols and our daughters' idols, and they look up to them, Denzel gets so much more respect than a Cuba Gooding Jr. Not just because he's a good actor, but because he's with his black woman. Samuel L. Jackson because he's with a black woman. So when you do think, OJ was the #1 football player in the 70s. Everybody loved him when he was with his first wife. And then he divorces her to be with Nicole, and like his credibility dropped. So I feel like, in a way, black men
not credibly, a lot dropped. Favorable,
well, before the death, like he was already kind of falling because people was not fucking with him. They were so mad that he left his wife for her because he was cheating on his wife for her. Yeah, he cut them all off after he really came up.
Because dudes like him and Tiger, they feel like when they attain a certain level of success, that they like transcended their blackness.
But Tiger was never fucking with this. Tiger's different. He was never fucking with what.
Until you have that moment that brings you back to the black side.
Yep. You see how black people like.
And they will remind you, hey, you black.
Stood behind him. They stood behind him even though, and it's like we will always do that. So it's kind of like when they don't kind of show black women. Get upset because it's like at the end of the day I will always shoot with you in the gym no matter how much you beat me down, you call me nappy headed, you call me ugly, black like tar. If you get laid out on the street, I'm gonna be so pissed because you are still my brother, you're still my son, you're still like my, you know what I mean, like I'm gonna still rally against you. So it's like you always like do this to us, but we got your back no matter what.
But is it just, here's my question,
it is never reciprocated.
Is it not, I have a question, and y'all could go, is it white, is it the black man with the white girl in the athlete circle, or is it across the board?
I think it's in general because I think like a lot of people still don't, I mean we probably won't get upset because how are we gonna get upset with some random person we just see in the street? We may look, but we can't, it's not in our face all the time for us to like really like see it. But how many times are you gonna see Kanye talk about how beautiful Kim is and how beautiful his wife is? Like she bought a lot of those features and you keep making her seem like she's so beautiful, but your first girlfriend was gorgeous, you know what I mean? Like she was, I forgot her name, but she was
Alexis,
but you know what I mean? But maybe she wasn't good enough for you. Then you went to Amber and you were talking about butts, you like the mixy chicks, you know what I mean? Then you got her and maybe she, you know, I don't know. But the case is like I think like what you're saying, like I don't know what you're saying, sorry.
The prize.
Yeah, it's a prize.
Like another example that comes to mind for some reason is Kevin Hart. Like he also had.
He got flack for that?
I don't know if he got flack for it, but I remember. No, initially his wife was. Initially his wife, you know, had like locks, like, you know, good looking black woman. But then, you know, he gets really big and God knows, huh?
No, good.
Or whatever, you know, but she's at least like, you know, a regular good looking black woman.
But isn't his girlfriend black?
And she's black. Noelle, she's younger. She's also she's very mixed. She's, I mean, if you're
black to me.
That's black.
That's how black looks to you.
I feel like, you know, I feel like this. I mean, blackness takes on different forms.
Right.
Obama. If the cops pull you over on Church Avenue and they see her or they see Obama, you go on a police report as black. So even though you may not identify solely as black as a mixed race person, society is gonna put that label on you.
But there is a different levels to it. Like we put a different type. Like everybody that, like, to bring it back to catfish, everyone that catfishes, they use a specific, when they're catfishing in the same race, they use a specific kind of black girl. And it's never a black girl that looks like them. It's like a specific, like, so I think we give slack to black men when they date outside their race, and we also give slack to black men when they date like a little bit too mixed.
Yeah. It's like, hey,
they want,
can't win, man.
Yeah, you can't win. It's like, you're just not black enough.